Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy II on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode, we entered the Giant of Babil, and we cleared out most of the Giant of Babil. We skipped that one treasure chest because we were running short on time, so I'm going to go back and grab the treasure chest. It contains an elixir, but more importantly, it contains a one-time only enemy, so gotta fill out our bestiary, the last arm. He looks like a summoner, or a searcher, the ones that summon the monsters, but this guy doesn't. He'll never summon anything to help him out. He just basically sits there. He uses this magnet ability, which doesn't seem to do anything, and if he lasts long enough, he will end up using an exploding technique. He'll use fission, and it'll deal damage based on the amount of hit points he has left, but we're not going to let him even do that, because Georgie's going to take him out with the Lit 3. We're going to get the elixir, and then we're going to head back toward the save point, but we're not going to use the save point. We're just going to head straight up, and in the next area is where we're going to meet the final new monster that we can in this area. So I'm going to farm him right now, because in the middle there is we're going to go into a boss fight, and we're going to be healed up before that boss fight. So I might as well do the farming here now, because I'm going to get a free heal anyway. In just a little bit, so now the enemy that I'm going to meet is the Dragon Machine, and you can run into it in two different ways. You can run into it as a random encounter on this level. The way I encounter it is it can be summoned by the Searcher monster here. So not all Searcher monsters will summon it. Some still summon the Horseman enemy, but we got lucky and got one that summon the D-Machine. Now, the D-Machine is weak against weak, so we just hit it with the weak spell, and then we finish it off with anybody else. And unfortunately, this guy went really, really fast and managed to cast that fire spell on us twice. Deal some decent damage. Now we hit the Searcher again, and since we didn't defeat it, we're gonna manage to summon another D-Machine. We'll have Georgie cast Stop on it. It also says that's all the Stop. Unfortunately, the Stop doesn't last too long on it. It recover quickly from it. But before it gets another turn, FuSoYa will manage to get the weak spell on it, and Rupes will manage to finish it off. As I said, anybody could finish it off because it's down to single-digit hit points. And, hey, Lily gained a level, and she gains the White Spell. That's the ultimate white magic spell. It's basically a Holy Elemental, so it does a lot of damage to enemies that are weak against Holy, which will include one of the enemies here, but we will not be casting the Holy Spell. Lily will instead be working to just keep the party healthy, because we have a big boss fight here with the 4 Fiends. Yeah, they learned to team up together, like Rupes said. Weak people can join forces and be strong, so... Master Zemus, breathe life back into us all, to defeat you. Glad to meet you and fight again. You have taught us to join forces. Now I'll restore you to full strength. And somehow the other 3 Fiends ain't worried about this. And luckily we don't have to fight them all at one time. I guess all their sprites wouldn't fit on the screen at one time. We fight them one at a time, but one right after another. Each of the elements have 28,000 hit points, but damage that you do to one can potentially roll over into the other. So like if this guy had like, say you did 27,000 hit points to this guy, and then hit him with a 9,999 spell, 8,999 of that damage will transfer over to the next Fiend. This is the only tricky Fiend at the beginning here, because Millen here is weak against fire, and the one that comes right after him is Rupes. So if you cast, fire and you're not really paying attention, and then Rupes appears, you'll cast fire on him, and it'll heal him up, and you don't actually want that, so took my little time there. I equipped Nell now with the Ice Claw, because to exploit the new weakness that Rupes has here. once again, we're just going to cast Ice. Now the next one will be Kanazago, the Fiend of Water. He always will have the water barrier up around him, so he loses that weakness to Ice 3. So I guess this could be another potentially tricky one, where like if you, on paying attention, you cast Ice 3 and then defeat Ubicante with a different character, then the Ice 3 can heal up Kanazago. But I'm paying attention, so, and in preparation for that, I'm going to switch out the Ice Claw for the Thunder Claw. And should have kept the Ice Claw on just a little bit longer, but I thought FuSoYa would finish his magic spell first. But nope. And then we go into the final two, Kanazago here, the water, and then Valvalis, the Fiend of Air, is the last one. Valvalis has really weak magic defense, so it doesn't matter. You can hit it with any level 3 elemental spell, and it will do a lot of damage. So you don't have to worry about just potentially healing her by casting Lit 3 on Kanazago. Because if we defeat Kanazago and transforms, just like it's going to happen here, FuSoYa will still do a lot of damage with Lit 3. Yeah, max damage. Rupes is also going to do a lot of damage because his Excalibur sword is Holy Elemental. This is a battle where we could have used Lily's white spell. It would have done massive damage against Valvalis here. But as you can see, Rupes is doing plenty on his own, and then backed up by FuSoYa and Georgie. The elements fall. Yay! They will make a reappearance, though, once again in the after years. You'll learn a little bit more about them in the after years, so. A lot of bosses, pretty much every boss in Final Fantasy II here makes a return in the after years. And even bosses from, like, other Final Fantasy games make appearances, so. In the final dungeon, there's bosses from Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So we even go forward in time. So we're just going to come back here, heal ourselves up, make a save, because we have the final boss here, the Central Core, to defeat. The Central Core isn't that tough of an enemy if you know how to deal with it. We're going to get a little bit of a clue on how to deal with it, but not a full clue. There's still some strategy that I'll point out here. We give the CPU, the core, despite being a machine, is not weak against lightning. So I just gave the Cat Claw to Nell because that has the highest. That one gives the biggest agility boost out of the claws. So that'll help Nell, help her deal a little bit more damage with her boomerang, since we can't exploit an element of weakness. But luckily we don't get any battles here, and here we're at the final area where the CPU is. Time to destroy the core. It's the core of this giant, the CPU. Man, it's huge. You must destroy the defense system first, otherwise all damage will be repaired. So yeah, it has 3 nodes, the attacker, defender, and the CPU. We want to take out the defender like FuSoYa said, because otherwise it'll just keep healing the CPU. Now, it might think that, oh, well, then take out the attacker then, because the attacker is going to be really annoying because it's the only one that's going to be dealing damage to our party. But the problem is, if you defeat the attacker and the defender and the CPU is just alive by itself, it starts casting this spell called Globe 99. It casts it 3 times. And each time it hits, it does 9,999 damage to whoever it hits. So he's basically going to wipe out 3 of your characters, which could be a real problem if he wipes out, like, FuSoYa and Lily, because they're the 2 white mages who have the life spells. Now, we could use life potions to bring people back to life, but instead, we're going to take this guy out by just defeating the defender. And then we're just going to heal with FuSoYa and Lily when needed. and just have everyone concentrate their attack on the CPU. The CPU has 30,000 hit points. It takes 9,999 from Medio, so if you're keeping track of everything, you can, once you hit over 20,000 hit points to damage on it, you can just have FuSoYa cast Medio, and then the Medio will take out both the attacker and the CPU at one time. But if you miscalculate and don't really keep track of the CPU's hit points, and you cast Medio before it would take out the CPU, then you're gonna experience that Globe 99, and then after the 3 Globe 99s, the CPU just revives the attacker and the defender. So, the easiest thing to do is, like I said, just concentrate all your fire on the CPU, and you can just have FuSoYa and Lily heal characters. If no one really needs healing, they can use the fast spell to boost Rupes and Nell their frequency of turns. One thing you don't really want to do is you don't want to berserk Rupes or Nell, because you want to control. You want to make sure they're attacking is only the CPU. You don't want them to inadvertently attack the attacker and defeat it. And then just keep following this, and then eventually, like I said, the CPU will fall. And then once the CPU falls, then you can just use any like level 3 elemental spell to finish off the attacker. The attacker and defender don't have a lot of hit points. They both have 3,000. So any level elemental 3 spell will finish him off. Attack with her arrows, and the CPU is down. So now we just cast the level 3 elemental spell, and that'll take out the attacker if Rupes doesn't finish it off. Which he does. There we go. And we have defeated the Giant of Babil. Because now that we've destroyed the core, it's gonna collapse. Like in Gradius, destroy the core and the whole ship around it collapses. But unfortunately, the giant is gonna collapse, and that's a problem because we're inside the giant. Uh-oh. Here comes Golbez. You wretch, you ruined my plan. You shall pay for this. You! Oh, FuSoYa knows Golbez. Get away. Don't you realize who you are? Stop it. Wake up. And he casts a spell or something on Golbez, and he removes Golbez's hypnosis. We learned that Golbez was actually under hypnosis by Zemus, and then Golbez had Jarvis under hypnosis. Why do I have all that hatred? Come to your senses. Do you remember your father's name? My father. His name is FuSoYa. What? That's also Rupes' father. So it turns out that Golbez and Rupes are brothers. That means Rupes' brother. Which is why Golbez, back in the Tower of Zot, after he was defeated by Tella, and then he knocked Rupes back, he didn't finish Rupes off, because he stopped. He's like, wait, who are you? He said, who are you? I guess that was like his subconscious telling him, like, you can't, like, attack your own brother. So for a moment there, he kind of broke out of the hypnosis of Zemus and let Rupes live. But now Golbez and Rupes is like, well, I used to be evil too, because I was the Dark Knight. Why wasn't I controlled? And Golbez's like, well, I think I was more evil. And apparently in the remake version, they actually have a little more backstory given to Golbez to explain why he's kind of evil. Apparently, I guess he was somewhat jealous of Rupes. Golbez is the older brother, and I guess he was mad that his younger brother was getting more attention. Something like that. I don't know. I haven't played the remakes, but I've heard people talk about them, so. But now, FuSoYa and Golbez go off, and they're like, we're gonna go take out Zemus. And they leave, and they head back to the moon. But they don't take the big whale. I guess they just take the Tower of Babel, because remember, the Tower of Babel acts as an elevator between, a dimensional elevator between the moon and the Earth here, which is why the Giant of Babil is summoned from the moon. So it's like a big teleporter. But we can't get back into the Tower of Babel, so. But that's okay, because we got the big whale to take us. And now we have Jarvis here to take us out of the giant. Because we're like, wait a minute, it's exploding, we gotta get out of here. But we don't know where the exit is. But Jarvis takes us right to this door, and I guess that's the exit. I'm sure there's more of the giant we had to get out of, but we just had to start by going in that door. And the giant falls, and everybody's happy. And last time I was able to gain my consciousness, I'm ready to pay the consequences. And Nell's a little mad. Yeah, who do you think reactivated the Giant of Babil? But Lily's gonna step in and defend Jarvis because they were, childhood friends. And basically says, like, look, Golbez is also under the control. It's not Jarvis's fault. Golbez too? And they fill Jarvis in with the plot. Golbez is Rupes' brother. A Lunarian called Zemus controlled Golbez from the moon. So Golbez went to the moon with FuSoYa to defeat Zemus. Golbez, Rupes' brother. Then I must pay my debts to Zemus. So Jarvis is rejoining our party. Hope he doesn't get hypnotized again. Oh no. If that happens, go ahead and get rid of me. So yeah, this is going to be our final party. Now, the first time I played this game, though, I didn't think this was going to be our final party. They're not coming. I feel like defeating Zeus with my own blade. Let's go. Because of what's about to happen here, I will go to the moon. Rupes. Lily and Georgie will get off here. The rest of us will go to the moon. It's too risky. There's no guarantee of safe return this time. Rupes, what? They're a little angry. Come on, get off the big whale. So yeah, the first time I played this game, Lily and Georgie leave us. And I thought, oh, well, I guess we'll just go to the moon and we'll find Golbez and FuSoYa, and they'll join our team. So the final party will be Nell, Rupes, Jarvis, Golbez, and FuSoYa. But I guess that's what the game wanted you to think. And they pull this little trick where Georgie and Lily leave. And it looks like they exited the big whale. But we're going to find out that's not really true. I guess they basically, there must be like a hatch, a little hallway between where that hole is and actually getting out of the big whale. And they must have hidden there. Because once we arrive at the moon, we poke the ship and we try to exit. And we exit the same hallway that they left. So I wonder what would happen if we would have went to the teleport on the right there. We would have exited that way. We would have never run into Lily and Georgie, who were hiding in the left one. Rupes is a little angry that Lily didn't listen, but Lily's like, no, I want to be with you, Rupes. And she gives him a hug, and that's all it takes, and Rupes decides, yep, well, come on with me. Let's go. Not to be outdone, I should say, Georgie's gonna pop up as soon as Lily hugs Rupes there and creates some space for Georgie to hop up in. We did it! Dunk! Georgie! Nell's happy to see Georgie. Didn't I say we're all fighting for a common cause? Besides, I'm the only caller you have. Georgie, you are right. Let's fight for our common cause. Yes, Georgie is our only caller. But speaking of calling, Georgie does not have the Leviathan summon. Remember, I wanted to show off the different dialogue with the King Bahamut. So I'm actually gonna head back to Earth. There's a few little side quests to do. So now Jarvis comes with all samurai gear and the Gungear spear. The Gungear spear is a little weaker than the defense sword, but remember, Jarvis gets double damage when he does the jump command with the spear. And I equipped the defense sword there to show that it doesn't change Jarvis's defense at all, because the Gungear spear is like the defensive sword where it boosts vitality, which boosts a character's defense. So that's pretty nice. Gives them a little extra vitality and a little extra defense. So it functions like the defense sword. So we're going to head down into the underworld here, because I'm going to head back to the land of summoned monsters and get Leviathan summoned. I'll do that off screen now. But once we defeat the Giant of Babil, if we come back here, to Coco Smith, we'll notice that besides forging the Legend Sword to the Excalibur, he's been busy and got his confidence back and is making a lot more items that we can buy from this dwarf over here who's now hanging out at his counter. You can buy shurikens, ninja stars, and samurai arrows. Samurai arrows are kind of a waste because you can get free Artemis arrows, which are stronger than samurai arrows and actually do effective damage against dragon enemies. Samurai is just strong arrows that don't target any weakness. So, yeah, pointless to buy them because, like I said, Nell can just steal Artemis arrows from the carry enemies on the moon. So, and we'll eventually do that. We'll steal a whole stack of 99. But first we're going to head to the land of summoned monsters. And this is where I'll save my game, and then off screen I will go back and get Leviathan summoned, and then I'll meet you back out here for the next episode where we continue to explore some stuff on the Earth. Take care, have a good one. Bye!